All right. Uh, Hey, look at this handsome guy on the screen. Who is that guy, man? He looks pretty cool. I'm going to ask him to be my friend. I would love him to squeeze him, and I would call him George. All right. So, yeah, we don't have anybody watching yet. That's okay. I've only been live for 30 seconds. So normally you guys know that I go live on Friday nights. Um but I'm going live tonight, Monday night. So hopefully you guys have had a good start to your week. Um and I pray you all have a very blessed week. And oh man, I got I'm battling allergies and I took some allergy medicine earlier. I'm just waiting for it to kick in. Uh, hey, we got one person watching. Nice. So tonight we are interviewing the multi-talented guitarist Kevin Pike, and he's got a couple of solo albums out on Rocks Records. You can pick those up at rocksrecords.com. The newest one is called Heavenly Realms, and I think the first one's called Guitar Graffiti. Yeah, anyway, Tim Gaines, you guys know him from Striper. He played bass on both of Kevin's albums. And for those of you who may not know, Kevin was he was a member of the Christian rock band Arsenal back in the day. So looking forward to talking to Kevin. And how you guys all doing, man? I had 3 people, now I got 2 that and I got 4. Whoa, we got 4 people. Uh Hey, Dave. Judah says hi. Aw, my buddy. My buddy. Tell Judah Uncle Dave says hi. And same for Avery. Awesome. So 4 people watching. Pretty darn good. Like I said, I pray you guys are having a good blessed week, man. And remember that Philippians 4:13 tells us that I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. So no matter what you're going to, I gotta speak English. No matter what you're going through, the Lord can bring you through it, man. Sincerely, and just cast all your cares upon the Lord. You know, He truly loves you. And oh, we have 4 now. We're back down to 2. Y'all don't want to hear about Jesus? You're gonna hear about Jesus. But I figure out, normally I get on here a little bit early so that I can chat with you guys and kind of get my feet wet, so to speak. But yeah, great things are happening. The Lord is opening up some doors. Jonathan Woodward, hey, Word Rat. Nice, man. What's up? Oh, what'd you say? Oh, you said what up? What's up? Oh man, this is awesome. Yeah, it's been a few weeks since I gone live. I feel like I'm rusty. Jonathan, he says he's chilling. I'm just chilling too, man. You know what I'm saying? Chilling like a villain, gelling like a felon. All right. Oh man, weren't those old Dr. Scholl's insoles, for your shoes? It was some old commercials like that. I'm gelling like a felon. But let's see. Just finished mixing and mastering a song in the studio. Oh, sweet, bro. Sweet. Dude, you're gonna have to send that to me. I want to check it out, man. I love your stuff. Uh Steve and Sharon. Oh, right. We will be at Immortal. Oh, nice, man. Yeah, I will be at both of them. Immortal Fest. Part 1 is at the end of July. I keep forgetting the exact dates. That's part 1. And part 2 is Labor Day weekend. Both are at the BMI Event Center in Versailles, Ohio. And if you haven't got your tickets, man, you need to get on that. bmieventcenter.com and click on events. You go down to it, boom, order your tickets, all the good stuff, man. Uh Jonathan says, what's been good? Dude, the Lord has been good, bro. Like I was getting ready to say, he's opened some doors for me. Um, I am on the board of advisors, man, with Darth Plummer Artist Management. They manage a lot of great Christian rock and metal bands, and I'll know more about that hopefully soon. What my exact role is, but I'm honored and blessed to be a part of that. And the Covenant Metal Show will be. I'm still going to be doing this, like going live on Facebook when I interview bands, but I am making a return to radio. I did retire from radio. I actually really did, but some people had uh, contacted me and got a hold of me, and I just liked what they had to offer, and I believe in what they're doing, and so I'm going to be going back to radio next week, and I think it'll be Sunday nights, hopefully 7 p.m. Central, so 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's on revolutionshow.org, and I'll have more details for you guys when that, as it comes along. Um, see, it's a funny song about toilets, poo, and having a clean mouth. Ha ha ha. Ephesians 4:29. Okay. Rob Lowe. Hello, brother. Hello, Rob. Rob Lowe, what do you know? How many lows could Rob Lowe rob if Rob Lowe did Rob Lowe's? Uh Rick Queen, how's it going, Dave? How's it going, Rick? Craig. Hey, Dave. Hey, Craig. What's happening, brother? Sounds good, bro. I'm excited for you. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, I'm excited too. God is good, man. God is really good. He's been making some tremendous changes in me. Great changes, really. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, all that good stuff. And I just praise God, man. I praise him for what he's done in my life. And I pray that the Lord is doing good things in your life too. And I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. Steve Young. Hi, Dave. Hey, Steve. What's happening, brother? Um, I really wish that I could stream music live on here, but it won't let me do it. Facebook won't let me do it. Because they're a bunch of poo-poo heads. They won't let me do it. Oh, Rob says he's only got one Lowe's to rob. Rob Lowe would rob one Lowe's if Rob Lowe did rob Lowe's. There you go. Ooh, hey, I'm a poet and didn't know it. Rick, going good, brother. Oh, thanks for the info on the equipment for our podcast. Hope to have it up soon. Oh, sweet, bro. Yeah, keep me in the loop, Rick. Let me know, and I would love to support you guys, man, any way that I can. Uh, Word rat. What kind of mic arm you using? Oh, mic arm. It's Blue, the brand Blue. Um, the mic arm is a it's just a podcast boom arm. Both of these are. There's another one over here. You can't see it. You can see a little bit of it. I got two of them, even though it's only me, but I keep both of them out here set up just in case. And my mic here is a Personas PD70 podcast mic. Both of them actually are the same exact mic. Great stuff, man. And my mixer that is up there, that is a Rodecaster Pro 1. The second version, they have two versions out. I got the first one, and then I got my laptop. Everything is hooked up to that. I'm seeing myself on screen. I got everything's hooked up to my big flat screen TV, and so it's good, man. Let's see, Jonathan, nice. Yeah, absolutely, man. I have a coffee table here in front of me, and the camera is set up. It's just a simple 1080p webcam, set on a tripod on the coffee table right here in front of me. Um, I will be having Mark McCowan from Divine Martyr on my show Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, and we will be talking about the release of their new video Absolution. Everyone is invited to check it out. Hey, Craig, provide a link here in the chats. Provide a link, bro, so people can check that out. Absolutely. And when you have it up and all that, I'll share the link on my page too, man. All right. So 6 o'clock, or sorry, it's 7 o'clock rather, where I'm at, 7 Central. So it's a little after 7 my time, a little after 8 Eastern, and a little after 5 Pacific time. Um, just we're waiting for Kevin Pike to come on and hang out with us. Get some text message. Okay, cool. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Bling, 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 bling. All right. Let's see. Got to send a text message, man. All right. So, all right. Huh. Okay. Hang on 1 second, guys. I need to send Kevin Pike the link to come on in here. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna keep this going, but I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, give me 1 second. Oh. All righty then. Okay, math is hard. Yes, it is, dude. Yes, it is, Richard. Richard Lynch from Saint, my buddy. Man, haven't talked to you in a while, Richard. I hope you're doing well, man. For reals. Can't wait to see you again, brother. Uh okay, so Craig posted his link, Roman Papa Bears podcast on YouTube channel. Steve Young, 804 here. Jonathan Woodward, 1. It's been like 16 seconds. Barry Morrison, he says noise. Uh Rick, how do you like Ray Parra's podcast? It's been awesome. Oh, thank you, man. I'm sure Ray really appreciates you saying that, for reals. Um Actually, I'm the guy that edits Ray Parra's podcast called Is It Wrong? And if you guys haven't checked it out, man, you're missing out. It's a great podcast. Ray is amazing he's just a natural talking to people. Me, I'm a little rusty, but I'll get there. So yeah, Is It Wrong podcast? It's on YouTube. Look it up. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff, man, and support my boy Ray. Um, Jonathan, that was like 134.8 seconds, man. You got a stopwatch, huh? Barry says, "Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Barry. Mr. Barry Morrison." All right. Dave, I don't know how to get in the studio. I'm in there, but I don't see anything. Okay. He had a different link. All right. Well, hopefully Kevin can get in. I sent him the link. All these Kevin, if you're watching, all you got to do is just click on the link, bro. You'll show up on my screen, and then I have to go over and click something to bring you in. So are you going to Rock in the River this year? Yeah, I'll be there, man. My brothers Fear Not are coming back to Rock in the River, so definitely I'll be there. Um, I am still working on getting my podcast together, Barry. Right on. Some of you guys, man, Rick, Barry, you guys are looking to start podcasts, and that is awesome. Seriously. Anybody who wants to do a podcast, seriously, if you want to know how to do it, it's very simple, really. If you want to do it via, a video podcast, a webcam, and a microphone. That's it, man. You could just use a USB microphone, like something that just plugs right into a USB port on your computer or your laptop, and webcam. And most laptops, if you use laptop, I think most people use laptops now. Hardly anybody uses tower computers anymore, which is cool. But a lot of the laptops, they got the built-in webcam, so you can do that. But yeah, just a USB microphone, a webcam, and your personality. That's really all you need to bring. um but yeah, I'll be at Rock in the River. Somebody messaged me. Who messaged me? uh okay, I got your message, Craig. Nice. Yeah. Craig, my buddy Craig Bland runs Roman Papa Bears podcast on YouTube. So just type that in on YouTube, and make sure that you subscribe, click the little bell, and like on the videos and all that good stuff. If you guys could do me a favor, and if you haven't already, please be sure to go to Covenant Metal Show's Facebook page. You can just type in Covenant Metal, and it'll take you right there on Facebook. Make sure, if you haven't, that you like, follow, all that good stuff, and share the page too, man. And invite your friends to come check it out, and like and follow and all that good stuff too. But yeah, good things are coming up. Excuse me. There we go. Hello, Clarice. There we go. um, what else we got? Um, yeah, Immortal Fest coming up. I'm not going to any other festivals this year. I'm going to Immortal Fest. Well, no, I'm going to Immortal Fest. The week before Immortal Fest in Springfield, Missouri, is Chains Unchained. My wife and I will be going to that, and then we're going to both Immortal Fests, and then we'll go to Rock in the River uh, first weekend in October. So yeah, looking forward to that. That's it. I mean, people, hey, you're going to Audio Feed, you're going to Kingdom Come Fest, you're going to Soul Fest, you're going to this, that. It's like, man, if I was like a millionaire, I would go to all the festivals, but I'm not, so I can't. So there you go. What up, Steve? Hey, Jonathan. Right on, man. It blesses me to see so many people here. We got like 8 people right now. That may not seem like a lot to some people, but it's a lot to me, and I appreciate it. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys, sincerely, man. And still waiting on Kevin. Come on, Kevin. Uh, okay. He says he can't get in. I don't know what to do. All right, hold up. Hey, bro, what happens when you click the link? Because all you really should have to do is just click the link, and it takes you right to it. Um, Send the link to your email. Yeah, let me do that. Okay. Actually, you know what? I won't send that voice message. I'll just give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Copy the link. See, I'm old school. I still do everything on a computer. I don't really do a whole lot like on my phone. Um, that's just how I am. Uh, okay, hang on. Kevin. I don't see him in here. I don't see him. All right. Un momento, por favor. Nope. I don't have him in my contacts. Well, that stinks. Hold up. 1 second. Discard. There we go. All right. So email address. I don't have it. I don't have it. There we go. But some people dropped off, man. We had 8, now we got 6. It's all good, man. All good. I appreciate you guys sticking around, hanging out with me here. Yeah. All right. So, you guys got any questions for me? Anything that maybe I can try to answer for you? No math questions, okay? Because I suck at math. I'm like, I got like grade school level math. I'm serious. I struggled with math so much when I was a kid in school. I know addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and some fractions, and that's it. I'm serious. I just struggled so bad. I kicked butt at everything else in school when I was a kid growing up, but math was my worst enemy. I suck at math. Um, there we go. Wait, hold on. Okay. All right. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. I don't know why, and you guys are gonna probably laugh at me, but um all day today for some reason I had I had Ice Baby stuck in my head, man. Don't ask me why, but I was just going around going, Ice Baby, dong 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 dong. Vanilla Ice Baby, dong 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 dong. There he is. All right. Kevin's here, guys. I'm going to go ahead and let him in, and we'll get this interview rocking and rolling. Mark McCowan says, hi, all. Hey, Mark, what's happening, dude? Mark McCowan from Divine Martyr. All right, I'm going to bring Kevin on. I'll be right back in 2 and 2. Hey, Kevin, what's happening, man?
Hey, how's it going, Dave?
Pretty good. You
Hey,
can
man,
hear me all right?
I tried to get in that link. I couldn't get the link that way, so I apologize. I'm late.
Hey, no worries, man. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Sometimes the leaks don't work for people. I don't get it.
I should have double checked it. I should have got in there early, but it worked fine going in through the email. So
Right on. Hey, if you want, are you using your phone or a computer?
I'm using a phone.
Okay. Yeah, if you lay it sideways, then it just looks better on the screen. That's all. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that does look better. Okay, cool.
Right on.
All
So,
right.
hey guys, Kevin Pike here. If for those of you who don't know, back in the day, he played in a band called Arsenal. And like I said earlier, he's got 2 solo albums out, Guitar Graffiti and Heavenly Realms. Both of those are available at roxrecords.com. And you guys should head on over there and pick those up. Kevin, thanks for being on the show, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, Dave. Hey, I just wanted to say, I appreciate you and all that you do for the bands. Rox Records, you make all the videos. I know you're working with Darth Plummer and just so many things that you do on the show. So, really appreciate you and your support.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you saying that, man. That means a lot to me. And, all glory to God, man, sincerely, because God opened those doors, man,
That's it. I know. That's it. It's he prepares us. I look back on all that time that people say, man, don't you wish that more would have happened with music? And I always say, actually God was using that time to prepare us for what we're doing now,
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. So, other than your, your solo stuff that you put out, what else you been up to, man? Is it you're just working on your solo stuff, or are you taking part in any other projects?
Well, I'm working, I guess, the cat's out of the bag. The people that know me, that Christine and I are married. I've been married to Christine for years
Right
of
on.
Arsenal. And we are working on, in 2024 is the plan to come out with some new, it's not going to necessarily be new Arsenal. I don't know how much these guys want me to say, but we're working on bringing back some of the things that there was right at that time, where things got really strange with the music as it did. And everyone kind of went through that whole Nirvana thing. I hate to make excuses, but it happened, right?
Yeah.
It
Nirvana
happened.
thing. I like that.
Yeah, it happened. It's funny because at that time I was traveling. I was in a Christian band. It was a Christian group called Young American Showcase. And I was on the road traveling with them. And Young American Showcase was kind of the stomping grounds. God kind of used it as a training ground. There was a lot of my first year, for example, my sound guy was Brad Avery of Third Day. There was Troy Stone, who ended up going into White Cross later on Flytrap. Brian Duvall of Johnny Q. Public. There was a lot of guys. But we went around, we played high school assembly shows. And we were endorsed by Converse tennis shoes and PV guitars, PV equipment. And while we were playing the shows, we were this hard rock band. We were Christians. We would play whatever was popular. We'd do some of our own original songs. And we would go in and do like this high energy assembly show. And then we would say, hey, if you'd like the band, come back. We're going to be here tomorrow night. And we do a full concert the next night. And we did 3 shows a day, 2 assemblies and a concert at night, all through the school year. And I did that for 2 years, man. It was like, that was the army of rock and roll.
Nice.
And it was during that time that I saw that change. We were out there and we were playing Metallica, Enter Sandman, and all the kids were loving it. And it was the next week they wanted to hear Smells Like Teen Spirit. I mean, it changed just like that,
Wow.
And it's funny because, some of the guys, we all went on, guys like Brad Avery, they went into Third Day. That's where music was going. They kind of were the way,
Yeah.
But guys like me, I mean, we stayed true to what we did. And I ended up joining Arsenal. I had been featured in Guitar Magazine. I was working at the time back in the 90s. There was only, we didn't have the internet. So you couldn't sit there and watch some guy, you'd hear some riff and you didn't know what he was doing, I don't even know if you can hear my guitar or not. Let me see something here.
I heard a little bit.
Can you hear that?
Oh yeah, that's good.
So you might hear some riff, back then, in the 90s, and we didn't have the internet. So we'd be like, how'd that guy do that, So it was kind of, all we had was the guitar magazines back then, and there was two guitar magazines that were like the #1 magazines. There was Guitar Player magazine, and there was Guitar for the Practicing Musician. And Guitar for the Practicing Musician was the #1 magazine, and they had their own record label. And John Sticks, the editor, and he was the owner of Guitar Recordings, and he was recording guys like the guys from Night Ranger, and he was recording
Nice.
Blue Saraceno, Rudy Sarzo. He had all these different guys, and he had guitar recordings, which were really guitar-oriented, kind of recordings. And there were a lot of instrumentals because that was kind of the thing. The other guitar magazine had Mike Varney, and that had, Vinnie Moore and, all the Tony McAlpines and all those, Joey Tafoya. And he had the spotlight column, and then John Sticks had the resume column, and they were battling. They both had record labels. And I got featured in Guitar for the Practicing Musician in July of '92. And that's kind of how it started. And that's how I ended up, through some friends. And through that, I ended up auditioning for Arsenal. And so I joined the band right after the Regency record release of Armor Choir.
Oh, okay.
So that was already out. They had done Armor Choir, East Coast Metal. And then I joined, through the magazine and all that stuff. And I ended up getting a gig with them. And we were preparing for the next Regency release. That was the plan. That's what we were working on. So we have 5 songs that we did to prepare for the next Regency release. And Regency went out of business. So we got those 5 songs that I really want people to hear. So somehow those are going to get released along with redoing some of the other songs, because there's some things like the other guitar player, we want to kind of rework some things.
So you guys working with Rock's Records on getting that stuff released?
That would be the only, that's the only with Christine's all. Yeah, that's the only record label we'd even really think of working with. They're just, Bill's so great. And he's done so much for us, and he's wanted to work with the band, so we want to do it with anybody else.
Right on.
I can't say enough. And a plug in for Rocks. I mean, just, the instrumental thing goes back with me because of the Guitar magazine. And when I was younger, I was a student at Musicians Institute in Hollywood, California. I lived in Hollywood. And I took private lessons from the guys from Racer X, Bruce Boulay. I've studied privately with Steve Lynch of Autograph for almost 2 years. So I got a real history with these guys. And so a lot of history with the guitar, and that's where the instrumental stuff comes from. And with that Heavenly Realms and with Guitar Graffiti, I wanted to bring back to the Christian community something like a Jeff Sheets album, a Joey Tafoya, Jeff Sheets, a Lanny Cordola. We haven't seen that kind of release in a lot of years, and I thought it'd be really cool. And I felt like with everything I had and my love for instrumentals that, getting the right bass player and getting someone like Rocks to do it. And that's kind of the idea behind it,
Yeah. That's awesome, man. So have you and Christine ever thought about and considered, putting the band back together and actually, like, putting out brand new material, maybe even doing some gigs or something?
Yeah, we have talked about that, and it's been, man, I tell you, it doesn't seem like it's been that long ago, but it does. Years go by pretty quickly. But yeah, we have talked about that. I mean, I would absolutely love to have Arsenal do like the Immortal Fest, That would be fantastic. And all the guys are on
that's
board.
exactly what I was thinking, man, because a lot of these there's quite a few of these bands that were gone for almost 30 years, and now they're back and they're doing great and putting shows on, or doing shows and putting out albums like off the top of my head, Fear Not,
Yeah.
And I think they're more popular now than they were 30 years ago. That's just my opinion, but yeah.
No, I totally agree with you, Dave. And that's something, I was talking to Christine about, that we've talked about. I said, it's kind of interesting because we're talking about how God, going back in time. I think that as musicians, a lot of us, and not just people that love music, and even, people that aren't musicians, but just love music and maybe working music in a different way in recording or sound, but I think we all use that term, back in the day. But I always think, man, God used that to bring us here. And there's actually right now, I agree with you. I think that there's more opportunity like right now than there was back then, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I was talking with Christine about that. I said, think about, take like Rocks Records, for example. Um, okay, so they've been around for 20 years. If you think about it, and they might not even realize it, but they grew up before their own eyes, is that they're bigger right now than Regency Records was. That was just a small label. They didn't have anywhere near the catalog that Rocks Records has. I think about Shrapnel Records. That was my favorite. The Instrumental. That was just a little tiny label owned by Mark Varney, and that's where Yngwie Malmsteen was discovered. Those were labels. Those labels were smaller than Rocks, way smaller.
Hmm.
So it's just interesting. Yeah, I think that there's a lot of opportunity. It would be cool to be able to use, if God would allow a chance to do that. And we're definitely all for it. I mean, Christine's vocals are great still. We have the bass player, Candy Slaughter, and the original drummer, Dave Caliano, and they're all on board to work this year. So hopefully it'll end in that. I know it's going to end in some sort of release, and then hopefully that'd just be cool to do the Immortal Fest. I think that's what I'm.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And have you been to any of them?
No, I haven't. I haven't, Dave. I'm sure
Oh
they're.
man, it's this year is their third year. They started in 2022, and the first one, it was just one weekend. It was Labor Day weekend in 2022, and then they did two last year. They had part one in July and part two Labor Day weekend, and they're doing the same thing again this year. And it's just it blows me away, man, because some of these bands, if it wasn't for Immortal Fest, some of us wouldn't get to see them. Because and I've told people I came to the show late, as far as getting into Christian metal and stuff, because I got saved in the fall of 2001, but I didn't even really start getting into Christian metal and listening to it until 4 years later in 2005. And by that time, Cornerstone was gone and all that, and slowly I was starting to find out about bands, and I had found out about Arsenal, and then I over the years I kind of forgot about Arsenal, but then when I saw, you were coming out with Guitar Graffiti, and I was like, oh yeah, 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 and it comes back to you. But um Immortal Fest, honestly, it's like, yeah, you go for the bands, you go for the music, but um it's like my good friend Barry Morrison says, come a stranger, leave a family member, because Immortal Fest is like a family reunion. You go there, you meet a bunch of old friends that you have not seen in a long time, you know, and you get an opportunity to connect with new friends, make new friends. So yeah, man, by far the best music festival I've ever been to in my entire life, man, hands down.
I would love to go. I saw that like Ken
Well,
Tamplin
where do
Shout's
you
going to be there.
live?
Huh?
Oh, I said, where do you live?
Oh, we're in Clearwater, Florida, right outside of Tampa, in the Tampa Bay
Oh,
area.
okay. Yeah, that's a jump, hop, and a skip for you to go to Ohio.
Yeah, we could figure it out. I saw that that Shout was going to be there. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm stoked about that, because I mean, I love Ken Tamplin. I even watch his Vocal Academy videos, on
Oh, I
YouTube.
know, man. I know.
Yeah.
In my early times when I was touring, and right about the time I auditioned for Arsenal, I was working on trying to get. I wanted to send him some stuff. I really wanted to work with Ken Tampa, and I just, yeah, I've always really admired, his work for sure.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah,
that is
absolutely.
something that, man, I tell you, we'd love to get out there. We'd love to do it. I hope we can. With this, see what happens with the new release, and
Anything can happen this year going into next year. I mean, you guys might have your album out, and that interest just grows again. Excuse me. And before you know it, people might be calling you up. Hey, we'd like Arsenal to come play. And that would be awesome if next year, 2025, if we could get Arsenal at Immortal Fest. That would be amazing. That'd be awesome.
I tell you what, Dave, that's something I've thought about that a lot, and that's something that I'm going to continue talking to Christine about. I think as this project and us working together unfolds, um, I'm hoping that excitement for everyone, rebuilds like that. Um, right when I joined Arsenal, we got to play a little bit, before everything died off, and we warmed up for Novella, and we warmed up for Bride. And it was just so great. I mean, that really seems to be where I think personally the band shined, and that's where the ministry's at. Not that you can't do all the other stuff. I know it's important, but going out there and playing live and just really doing that, and like you said, interacting with your brothers and sisters. It's just that you can't. Man, I miss that so much.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So kind of switch gears a little bit here is what I'd like to know is like who your musical influences were and what got you to decide to play guitar.
Wow, my brother. It all started with my brother. He played guitar, and I just thought that was so cool. My dad was a lawyer. He was a real academic kind of guy. I mean, he studied at Oxford, and he was really. But we lived out on a farm, and someone else farmed it, and so I had like some of my brothers and sisters were more going like college, but I had this one brother. He passed away, unfortunately, a couple of years ago. But I loved it. He played rock guitar, and I'm always like, hey, show me that riff, and he's the first one to show me a power chord. It's like, I'm like, oh, I love that,
Yeah.
But so he really inspired me, and I just started playing like in some bands and little cover bands when I was like 14 or 15. And I really fell in love with the Shrapnel guys like Yngwie Malmsteen. I really started falling in love with that kind of sound. At first it took me a while to get used to it, but I just started really falling in love with that kind of that instrumental sound. Just hearing the guitar sing, I guess. And that's really where the instrumental stuff started coming from, was like, I always kind of looked at it like it was a voice, like a vocal,
Yeah.
And I can remember like the first time like hearing Yngwie Malmsteen, and just not necessarily the shredding stuff, because he can shred, but he also has a lot of soul. I'd hear something like he would do something that would be like over, let's say like E minor. He'd be like, we just have like this E minor going, and he'd be playing. You have something like that going on. I'm just like, man, I just
Dude,
love
that
that.
was
I mean, it just like
nice.
sings, has like a singing melody.
Mm-hmm.
So, being out in the farm, it didn't have any. It's really always was hard to find a singer, right? That was always the thing. So when I joined Arsenal, I loved it. I'm like, Christine, she's got a great voice, but I think I did a lot of the instrumental stuff just because it was hard to find a singer. And
Yeah.
but I just got really interested in just like the pursuit of guitar, really, more than anything, more than. I had gotten saved when I was 11 years old. My dad actually, he was a agnostic, and he got saved, and he just came home one night from work, and he told us about it. And the whole family, we're 5 kids. I'm the youngest of 5. We all ended up going to this, it was an Assemblies of God. We ended up going to Calvary Chapel, but we all got saved. We all got baptized, and it was just,
Awesome.
So throughout the years, I went to Musicians Institute living in Hollywood, and I had a sister who was going to a Christian college in Dallas, and I was coming to the end of the year, and she's like, you need to get out of there, do something for the Lord, and just get out of that environment. And that really inspired me she kind of talked me to getting out of that whole Hollywood area. But and that's when I started thinking about like doing something with Christian music, doing something. I made a decision at one point that I want to do Christian music. I want to do something to serve the Lord. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I'm living in Hollywood. I saw that, and it's kind of interesting because when I was in Hollywood, I kind of got my first little taste of what the Christian music might be like. When I was living in Hollywood, I had a friend of mine who was a member of ASCAP, and he invited me to this dinner, ASCAP dinner, and Gene Simmons of KISS was the main speaker at this. We went to this dinner thing, and Gene Simmons was there.
Oh, wow.
And he had like a panel. So with songwriters, they had like this panel that you could go and kind of learn and ask questions about songwriting. And he had a band there called Silent Rage, and he was promoting them. And there was like 5 people that were on this panel. And one of the guys on that panel was Tony Palacios of Guardian.
Wow.
And that's the first time I'd ever heard about him. I heard there's this guy, Tony Palacios, and he stands up and he says, "Hey, I'm in a Christian rock band called Guardian, and this is what we're doing." And he told a little bit about, what he gave his little speech about the band. And Gene Simmons stood up and looked at him and said, Christian music goes rock and roll and Christian, he says, don't go together, because that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. He told Tony Palacios that. Then he sat back down. Gene Simmons did that. And that Gene Simmons was running the whole show. And it just really shut Tony Palacios down. And I never forgot that. And that's when I realized, I thought, wow, this Christian music thing may not be this is going to be a different gig,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's I've heard stuff like that before too. And personally, I don't care for Gene Simmons because the dude has just got too big of an ego and just kind of comes across as being a jerk. But I never got humongously into KISS, but I would have considered myself a fan. I mean, I'd like some of their stuff, and you can't say that they didn't have an influence on heavy metal, because they totally did, But
I agree. They did. They certainly did. And I actually met Tony Palacios, it was probably a couple years later after that. And I told him about that, and he pulled me back and ran me over to like other members of the band and says, this guy was there. He says, you're the only person in my life that can corroborate that story. He goes, no one goes, people believe me. He goes, but I've never met anyone else that was there that actually saw that happen. I said, I was there.
Oh, wow. They thought he was just making it up, huh?
Well, they believed him, but I mean, he was just so happy that there was someone there even though people did believe him, they were like, it was just cool for him to have someone else that was there,
Right.
But you're right though. KISS is, I mean, they're iconic, and they're, they are inspiring. I mean, Paul Stanley's, he's a pretty darn cool guy. I mean, I tell you, I was talking to you a little bit before we did the podcast, and I'll just share with everybody. I had last year, actually, when I was doing guitar graffiti right in the middle of it, and I was working with Timothy Gaines, I just had this sudden hearing loss in my right ear, man. It just went away. It was like, they don't know why it happens to like 1 in every, 100,000 people. No rhyme or no reason. I just went out. It went totally 100% out. And so I was.
So you're right. Your right ear. You're totally deaf in your right ear.
Yeah, as of last year, right in the middle of guitar graffiti, which was really strange because I got all my stuff like, mixed with all my, I love my sound, and I love working on having like a stereo, and now I'm just hearing a mono now, I mean, I can hear. It's different now. So anyways, just to say, I don't know if that would encourage him, what they had that happen to him, but I mean, you can get through it, I mean, you work through it, but yeah, it's completely gone. But I was inspired because you brought up KISS, is that Paul Stanley, he's deaf. He doesn't have any hearing in his right ear.
Right. Yeah.
So it's kind of inspiring to read about that. And he talks a lot about,
I didn't even know that until I didn't even know that until like a year or so ago about Paul Stanley only being able to hear out of one ear. I never knew that before.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think he was born like that.
Yeah. I think it was like one of his ears. Actually, it's kind of deformed. That's what
Yeah, yeah.
the issue ended up being. Yeah.
So it was inspiring though. Just for example, I mean, they do inspire me even, in ways like that. I know that obviously they're not Christian band, but it is inspiring the way that, he looks at things. But just to learn from how he like turns his head and just, so I had to think, man, it was terrible because, I play in a worship group as well. And I have all my stuff set up and the in-ears and all this. I had my sound, one side's the wet, dry sound and and the delays going back and forth. And it was a bummer because I'm like, man, I can't hear that now. I can't hear when the delay goes back and forth. I can't ping pong. So I just kind of ended up putting everything and doing all my mixes in more of a mono.
Yeah.
But but that was encouraging, and I'm used to it now. It's been longer than a year. It's been probably closer to 2 years. So I'm adjusting.
Oh yeah, that's got to be a crazy adjustment, man. Because like I was telling you earlier today, that I have severe hearing loss and I wear hearing aids in both ears. And but for me, it's been that way since I was like 10 years old. It was first noticeable when I was 10 years old, and I never learned, sign language. I mean, I learned the alphabet and a couple of words, but I don't know anything where I can actually use sign language. But and I fear the day will come when I mean, I can't even imagine having no hearing whatsoever in both ears, because like, for people like us, as much as we love music, to not be able to hear music ever again, I can't even imagine. I would cry, man. I'm serious. I would just break down and cry if I can never hear music ever again.
I know, man. I've thought about that too. I'm like, what would I rather? I used to, right when this happened, I thought, man, if the other ear goes out,
Yeah,
I'm done,
right.
man. But then I got to thinking, would I rather be blind or deaf? And that's a tough one. That's
Yep.
kind of tough. I hate to say this, but I think I'd almost have to say I'd rather be deaf than blind.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. For me, I probably would rather be blind than deaf. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, me too. I think you're right. Anyways, we're going down the dark road, but luckily.
Yeah, right.
No, I mean, that's good though. I'm sure there's other people that have had that before. It doesn't happen that often, but yeah, it was just the thing about it was for me. I mean, luckily my left ear is really strong, but like my equilibrium was way off. That's what's like the first time I went to rehearsal, like with a worship group, man, I was just like, and like trying to go back and like work on guitar graffiti. I was trying to finish that up and everything sounded so strange. And it was a real challenge, but I'm glad I had all that. I'm glad I was working on all that because it gave me goals, it gave me
Yeah.
some goals to reach. And I think that's going to help Arsenal too. I feel like that's something I've learned over the last couple of years, year and a half, 2 years working with Rocks and doing the
Mhm.
instrumental with Timothy Gaines, getting back in the new way, learning how to create digital files. I mean, everyone's got all the different equipment, which is cool. I mean, Logic Pro, Pro Tools, some people use, 24 track Tascam, whatever, but it doesn't matter as long as you can create a digital file and you can
Oh
do it
yeah.
all together. But it's that new way. So just learning about all that and just practicing, getting chops back, over the last 2 years it's been really good. And I feel like just setting those goals and accomplishing that, I'm going to apply that to Arsenals and get something to happen there. So,
Oh yeah. We have a question here from one of the people watching, my buddy Barry Morrison. He says, even though you can't hear, can you still feel the beat or sound in your right ear? Or is it totally 100? Well, you said 100% gone, but can you feel beats and sounds in your right ear still?
no, this it's
Oh,
totally
wow.
gone. Yeah, the
Wow.
nerve got damaged.
So not even a hearing aid would help.
No, no. The only thing
Wow.
that you could do is, I mean, I could get like a cochlear, but that's a
Oh,
totally
yeah.
different. But
Yeah.
the only kind of hearing aid I could get is one that would go in here and directs the sound back over to the other ear. But yeah, I can't hear. But interesting though, this is a good question. I appreciate it. It actually, I feel like, um, because of this happening, in some ways, I honestly feel like I'm a better musician in a lot of ways because I listen a lot more now. I listen a lot more to the beats. You know, speaking of the beats, I listen to the drummer a lot more. Like I'm always watching him out of my peripheral vision. I'm lucky to work with a really great drummer, but I can watch him out of my peripheral vision. I see that, you know, and I feel like I'm tracking him more. I feel like I listen to people more instead of just being in my own, you know, shreddy little world of guitar playing. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm listening more. So I feel like it's like one sense is dulled while others have sharpened. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like for me, yeah, I wear glasses, but I mean like visual acuity. I visually pay attention all the time to everything around me. So yeah. And I guess that kind of makes up for the hearing loss somehow. It kind of evens out. But uh so you want to play us a little something real quick or
Yeah, you know, I'll show you. This is I want to show you guys this too. This is I've been lucky enough, I guess, to have a mentorship with Steve Lynch of Autograph, and he's become a really good friend. And so I've got a chance to study with him for the last couple of years in person, and he lives in this area. And so he's a real big supporter of guitar graffiti and Heavenly Realms. He's given me some nice write-ups, and he's the one that really encouraged me. Hey, you know, start writing. But I wanted to share. This is I got an endorsement from Robert's Guitars, and this is their Steve Lynch model. And I don't know
nice?
if you remember back in the '80s, Steve Lynch had, you know, the
Oh, the zigzags, yeah.
yeah, the zigzag, and now his has always been black and yellow. And
Nice.
the reason why I had this one painted green with the pink is because when I was on the road when I was younger, um, when I graduated from GIT and I was touring, my mom bought me a Jim Ibanez Jim, one of the Steve Vai 777s, and I
Ah,
had
yeah.
number 722. I still have it, but it's pretty tore up from the road. But it was this color, and when she passed away, I had this built. You know, they built this for me, but I wanted to have it in the colors of that guitar, kind of in her memory.
Very
And
nice.
so this, but it's a beautiful guitar. It's a neck through body, and something that I'm going to have that coming out here in 2 weeks is I'm going to have a free download if any musicians are interested. So it's going to be just a free PDF that you can download, and I'm going to call it Heavenly Realms Field Guide. So it'll just take you through, and it's going to show, you know, kind of where some ideas, you know, some little things that I've learned, like maybe like it'll show like a 3-note thing, like a. So it might show like a riff like that, or show like the kind of scales that I use. So I might just show some different like little licks, like Atomic Dragon. I'm just going to kind of show maybe just how to get some ideas, like, hey, here's some scales that are F major, 3-note per string scales, which is what a lot of those guys use in, you know, that show you like a basic scale like that, and then say, hey, take, you know, an idea of just going like 3 notes to maybe go just that simple, and then you move it, and you can move it again, and you can combine it together. my hand's getting tired. But that's kind of the idea. So I'm going to show a lot of different little riffs and stuff that are from the Heavenly Realms. Another thing is doing like some things I've learned from Steve, which are doing some tapping. One thing that, like Eddie Van Halen always did a tapping, but you could always tell that it was a tapping, where something that I like to show people is doing tapping to where it doesn't sound like you're tapping as much. And that the trick is you hammer with your left hand, tap, pull, hammer, tap, pull, and you get this kind of thing. You get like a you get that kind of idea. My hand's getting tired here. But these are the kind of ideas. So I got this thing coming out of PDF. It's just got a bunch of licks and stuff off Heavenly Realms. I thought some people might enjoy seeing some of the different, things I've learned, like from Steve Lynch and the guys.
Yeah, I got somebody asking, when you put that out, where can they get that?
That's a good question, because I'm going to make it available. It's going to be, if they can get on my Facebook, I'm going to show it through there, and I'm going to have a link, and then you'll just send your email, and then I'll send you the link.
There you go, Barry. Yeah. And guys, if you don't have Kevin as a friend on Facebook, send him a friend request, spam his page, all that good stuff. No, I'm just messing.
Yeah,
no, don't do that.
Totally fine.
So, last question that I have. Now I know for both of your solo albums, you're working with Tim Gaines, who we all know used to be in Stryper. How did that come about?
Well, I kind of stole that idea, Dave, from Christine. Really, she had the idea to try to work with that camp at one time, and she had made a contact through one of the sound guys. She's good friends with Kenny Lewis, who's one of the sound guys and does a lot of the recordings and stuff. And she was really working towards hoping to work with them. And I decided to do the instrumental, and I thought, man, I sure would like to get Tim Gaines, So I just sought him out, just, through social media, tried to contact him, got a hold of him, told him who I was. And he was really super great guy, man. I mean, he's done so much for me. And when he's worked on songs, I mean, he'll work on it, send it back, listen to things, change things. I mean, it was really cool and real encouraging too. We built a good friendship through all those songs, through both those albums. But yeah, I sought him out, and he was just more than willing to help out. And so that was kind of a dream come true to work with him. He's so easy to work with. He's just so easy. He's such a professional. So I sent him the songs, one time through, and he'd have some, just awesome groove and bass line. I had the drums were done by a guy that's actually from Poland. So it was really interesting. I sent him the tracks, and then he'd be like, oh, this has too much double bass. Let's change this. Let's change that. But, the first one that we did, the Guitar Graffiti, was a little bit more bluesy. It had a little bit more like Guitar Graffiti. It's like, almost have this bluesy, and you have like this. So it was just more of almost a bluesy kind of, When we got a little bit more rock, when we got into the Heavenly Realms, I wanted something that was a little bit more driving. I wanted something a little bit more like Marty Friedman, and just to try to get more of like using like Phrygian mode, or like Atomic Dragon is.
Oh, you froze. Oh, we both froze.
But anyways, I got a little bit more rocking
Awesome.
on that, and then I also wanted to bring in some of the classical guitar pieces, because I studied classical guitar, and so it's got quite a bit of nylon string guitar work as well on the Heavenly Realms. So, but yeah, it was just, Tim was great. That just made the whole thing, and he was real encouraging. I think through losing my hearing and all that stuff that happened, I mean, if it wasn't for him, I don't think I would have finished it, So I'm kind of glad. Like I
We
said,
lost
I
a
had
signal.
that to have that goal. I'm like, I'm halfway through this, So I don't know if that answers anything, but
yeah, no, that's great, man. And I really appreciate you taking time out of your Monday night, Kevin, to hang out. And man, God bless you. God bless your family and everything you're doing, man. And everybody watching, make sure you pick up Kevin's albums. He's got 2 of them, Guitar Graffiti and Heavenly Realms. Pick those up at roxrecords.com. And I love each and every single one of you guys in Christ. And till next time, be blessed and be a blessing to others.
All right. Thank you, everybody. God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Amen. I have to get up and turn the thing off. You take care, brother.
All right, man. Thank you, Dave.
All right.